Hello and welcome to the Talkin Bits podcast. I'm your host, Michael Rose. With me, as always, is Banana Boy.
Yeah, close enough.
Nathaniel Brewer.
Old Cake Face.
Cake Face.
That's me.
Right. I'm not saying that joke anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
No, here I am, dude. We're back.
Signed, sealed, delivered. Here I am.
We are. Can I just tell you how excited I am for today's episode?
I'm pretty excited too. You walked in with an energy about you. Late. He was late.
I was late.
But he walked in with an energy.
That's the energy.
Yeah.
The energy is exhausted because I'm having this Black Rifle Coffee Company sponsor us
at 6:30.
Espresso with cream at 6:30 p.m.
Yeah.
So delirious.
So Nathaniel, tell the people, why are you so excited?
I'm excited today in a real autistic kind of way. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, this is my trains, dude. I'm excited.
This is your trains?
This is trains, but for me.
Okay.
Yeah. The autism joke. It's fine. I sort of have it.
Today's topic is trains.
No.
That'd be very funny with all this setup. You're like, this is my trains.
Yeah.
Let's talk about trains.
It's actually Thomas, the tank engine.
Yeah.
No, my exciting thing today is there's a big old storm going on.
There is.
Outside. And I realized that on the drive here, I just, I'm always thinking, what are we going to talk about today? Think back on my week or whatever.
Yeah.
And then today there's a storm going on, and I realized we've never had a storm episode.
I don't think we have. Dude, I have a lot of storm stories. I was just caught into a tornado like a month ago.
Dude, I'm
glad. Did I tell you
that's why
that?
we're here right now is a storm. And I just want to say, Riders on the Storm, dude. We're doing it.
Let's do it.
Riders on the Storm. Okay. All right.
That was kind of an awkward fist bump.
Yeah, well,
this table is slightly longer than it looks, and I'm sitting back behind a microphone. So
Michael has been lounging on a sofa for a year, and I don't think I've ever said it. If you're an audio only listener, you don't even know that. He is fucking
comfortable. I don't have shoes on. My legs are crossed.
He's chilling out on every episode.
I have jeans on because we're doing this after work. Well, most times when we do this in the morning, I'm wearing sweatpants.
Yeah.
I'm chilling. You're wearing sweatpants anyway.
Yeah.
I'm chilling most of the time.
Sure. Yeah. We've done episodes where you've woken up moments earlier.
Oh, the amount of episodes I've done like before like a shower.
Right.
In the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Almost all of them. Oh, my God.
Sure.
Yeah, dude.
Well, we used to exclusively record at 10 a.m. on Sundays, which I think we've said. But we did that for probably a year or pretty close.
At least the first year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the funny part about that is everyone was miserable and exhausted. And that's when we were eventually like, we gotta mix it up.
We gotta switch this up. I gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were also convincing a comedian to drive any amount of time to you at 10 a.m. on a Sunday.
We were all on Olivia's schedule. And
right.
Yeah.
This podcast was on OJ's schedule.
Should have been OJ's schedule. Should have been the name of it because we were on it.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not a bad name. Can I have that for the new one?
No, I might use that for mine, honestly. I like that.
That's not bad.
That's my kid, so I'm going to use it. Anyway, I was starting to tell you a story right before we started about how I hit a bungee cord.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so we were talking about like...
This is pre-storm. This is non-storm story.
Non-storm story. Speaking of OJ, she
we'll
just
get
walked
to the
in.
storm stuff. Oh, we said her name 3 times.
Hello.
Hi, buddy.
Hi, baby.
Hi.
So, speaking of the story that I was telling beforehand, so the 2 days before my birthday last year, I ran over a bungee cord.
The fact that you remember it was 2 days before your birthday tells me how much this meant to you.
There is so much shit that happened. Okay, so let me backstory to 2023. Okay, I'm selling a guy's house. It's the day of closing. On my way to closing, I get into a car accident. I'm getting off the interstate. Somebody stomps on the brakes. I rear-end him. Everyone's fine. I don't even think he filed an insurance claim. I didn't even get a ticket. But I got into a car accident. There's a big old hole in my bumper from it.
Still there?
Still there, because who the fuck cares?
Sure.
Right? That was
Virginia.
That day was the last time I talked to this guy. Okay?
Sure.
He called me randomly about a year and a half later. Was like, hey, man, I want to look at this house. I was selling his house. He wanted to buy another house. I want to look at this house. Can you show it to me?
Wait, the guy you hit?
No. The client.
All right. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
You threw me on that.
I'm on my way to closing for this particular client.
Right.
So the last time I see him is at that closing.
Okay.
Calls me randomly a year and a half later to show him a house.
Right.
Meet up with them, talk to him, start driving to the house, run over a fucking bungee cord.
So he's bad luck, you're saying?
Awful luck.
Okay.
Dude, I mean, I don't know if you ever ran over a bungee cord and had it stuck in your tire. They don't patch that. You get a new tire.
Wait, so the hook went into the
Okay. I had to pull over.
I thought you were gonna say the bungee cord like wrapped around your axle a couple times. And
no,
I was like that feels like you could repair it.
Yo, so
you just
No, so
unwind it, you know.
Oh, dude, it was like slapping around. Okay. There's scratches on the back of my car.
You know what? I just thought about that sound, and I don't like it.
It was awful.
Yeah.
So I pull over. He has to pick me up. We go do the thing that we're gonna do. Anyway, I take my car to the mechanic the next day. Tires shot. I'm 49,000 miles into 50,000 mile tires. So I just have to go ahead and get all new tires. And then upon looking at my car, there was like $1,000 worth of other stuff wrong with it.
Always, sure.
And that was all done the day before my birthday. That's why I remember it, because I was like, of course, it's my
great
birthday.
It's really fun.
Yeah. So
that was a non-storm story from Michael Rose.
It was rainy out.
Hey, sort of a storm.
Sort of a storm. All right, let's talk about storms.
Here's the deal. I'm not. To be honest with you, I'm not a storm guy. You know, there's like storm guys, storm chasers, and stuff. I've never been that, but for some reason today, now, I'm just in the storm spirit mood.
Here's a fun storm chaser fact, and if the family of these people hear this,
are you like a knowledgeable storm person? Are you?
My biggest fear in this world is probably a tornado. I'm not kidding.
This is gonna be good.
Yeah,
I got stories.
I have so much.
I got so much.
Okay. Do you know there's only been 3 people died chasing a storm in like storm chasing history?
Chasing a storm?
Yeah. And I don't feel bad for them.
I think define chase. Oh no,
dude! I don't. People. And like I remember, like it was a.
I mean, respectfully, rest in peace. But also,
it was in Joplin.
Did we talk about this with spelunking one time?
Yeah,
these guys who get trapped in a go fuck yourself,
dude. It was in Joplin or whatever. I can't remember, Missouri or something. And it was like the biggest tornado. It took a weird turn. And they just got cut off. And it
took a weird turn. The storm's 20 miles wide.
Exactly.
It took a weird turn and it moved 20.
And everyone was like, they just loved it. They were always so safe. It's like, you're chasing a fucking tornado, dude. You're not... Like, you know what?
That's my favorite.
You weren't doing it for science. Yeah. You were like... doing it for the love of the fucking game, man. Bro.
Just for the glory.
Yeah.
Is really all that is. That's so that somewhere one day someone would be telling a story where they're like, this guy, the closest anyone's ever gotten, the best footage. Instead, people are telling the story that you just told about him fucking dying in a storm.
And then everyone being like, it's so sad. It's like,
Stay
it's
away
not. Like, for their wives and like, it's sad for them, but like, I'm sorry. Like,
maybe Papa shouldn't have been a storm chaser.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, you fucked around.
Sure.
And,
hey.
Old tornado found out for you.
Every storm runs out of rain. You know what I'm saying? And that is the first of many storm-related lyrics I have thought up on the drive here today that I will be slowly dropping into conversation over the next hour. Please, go ahead.
No, do we want to take turns on storm stories? Like, I just told kind of one. You tell one now?
Yeah, dude. Riders on the Storm. Sure. So, I got a few. I want to preface, I'm not like a storm person. I think as humans, we all, especially living in this area, we all encounter storms. So somebody has some.
Because global warming.
And also, as of late, there's a lot of sad stories involving storms. You know,
let's talk exclusively about those.
Okay. I wasn't going to bring it up.
Let's just talk about the devastation that has been felt through the entire country over the last couple of months. Let's do that on our comedy podcast.
I swear on my life, I wasn't going to bring her up, and I'm not even going to say her name to justify it, but I'm telling you, there's fighting down on Market Street. If you catch my drift, if you've heard the song, you know.
I've not heard the song, but I know who we're talking about.
Somebody will. Yeah.
Joe, let us know if you got the reference.
No, he won't. No. Anyways, good storm stories, though, is what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah.
Or funny ones. And so the one I will say about that, and I think I've said this on the show, is that when I got Don't Tell, go back a year, actually, right?
Yeah. Which was
a year.
Sorry, the cave show was like the day after.
Okay, so that's the story.
Yeah.
So I got Don't Tell on kind of this, not promise, but this suggestion of mine that I could pull off a show in a cave like that. And I had that specific one in mind, not the exact point in the cave because I hadn't toured it yet, but I knew it was there. I just, the weird things in life where you just go, I just know that's where it's at. It's where we're going. It's just a matter of time. Anyway, so I pitched that in my meeting. They gave me Don't Tell, kind of, again, just on the hope that something like that could be pulled off. I planned it so that conversation was December, because I remember it was right before Christmas.
Of 23.
23.
Yeah.
That show took place in September or October. Right. Well, September. Yeah, it'd be whenever she made the
30th, specifically.
September 30th.
Maybe 29th. I don't remember. I have a story about that too, actually.
So, but I planned it for however long that, long ass
9
time,
months,
9 months,
a whole pregnancy,
and but then the Thursday before, so our first show sold out. We had 2 shows. It was the first time I was ever going to attempt 2 shows. First show was already sold out by Wednesday, and I was like, oh my God, this is it already. We're popping off, and we kind of were. Thursday. Hurricane fucking Helene.
There it is.
Makes landfall.
It's actually okay.
And hits like the Asheville area.
No, Friday it hit us.
Okay. Thursday is when it's
coming. On Thursday it's coming.
Right.
Friday, yeah.
Right. They know that it's coming. So tickets stop. They go to 0 because my show's on Saturday. And so we wound up taking, I think, the 7 or 8 tickets that had already bought to the late, because the first one was sold out. We just added to the early capacity, offered refunds to that whole first show as well, if they future tickets if they wanted to move their date, and then canceled the late. So I planned it for a year, okay, and then after that I was like, I can't believe I planned this for 9 months or whatever, and it was ruined. I'm gonna plan the Wallace Theater. And so I planned that for January, and I spent 4 or 5 months planning it. And that week, on Wednesday, ticket sales were going really good. And on Thursday, that fucking snowstorm that we had, and all the sales stopped again. And we wound up, we still had 60-something in the crowd, but it was
weather is not weather and Don't Tell.
I literally almost don't want to speak into existence what my next big show is because I'm so scared. I do have to tell you some shit though, but not on the air. But yeah, it's crazy.
That's code for we're gonna talk shit about all of you.
No, I have I'll just kind of. I have a couple super exciting announcements about Don't Tell.
Yeah.
That I'll make on the next episode of this, but not quite yet. About future shows and shit. But
Helene, it had a very like unique effect. So I had a client who bought a house on Wednesday. It hit on Friday, and so we're going through the inspection period of this house, and there was something wrong with the foundation of the home, but it wasn't like you need to fix this right now type of problem. Right. It's like, hey, in like 10 to 15 years. You're probably going to have to fix this. There's ever like a major flood, like it might add to it, blah, blah, whatever, but whatever.
Like take your time, but get on it also.
Yeah, save for it, but it's not like it's not something you have to do. And these are like very reputable people who told us this.
Unless, of course, you're in the situation of a storm.
I trust their point.
Dude, like, riders on the storm.
Dude, I trust like what they're saying, right? So we closed on this house on Wednesday. Helene hits on Friday, completely destroys what was needed to be done on the foundation, and she had to do that like immediately. Sucked, dude.
That's beautiful. My mom's basement flooded pretty bad during that too.
We got lucky here. We had some trees fall. It was weird.
You did. I remember that.
We didn't have trees fall in our yard. We had a bunch of limbs fall. I'm sorry, but we had right outside the neighborhood. There was like this. The fucking girthiest tree. I don't know a better word for it. Dude, I was playing Rocket League the other day.
If you could not, because
listen, I was playing let me tell you why I said that.
Right as you started to say girth.
I just dropped an inside joke to the wrong person, and that's what that was.
Yeah, okay.
Dude. So I was playing Rocket League the other day with my buddy Jordan.
I don't know if you've ever been inside joked about girth when you don't know it's an inside joke, but I feel sexually violent.
I was playing Rocket League with my buddy Jordan the other day, and we got our ass handed to
You have a friend named Jordan that plays Rocket League?
Yeah.
So do I, dude. My best friend Jordan, that is all he plays.
My best friend Jordan.
What's his last name? Can you say?
Start with an R?
No.
Okay.
How weird is that? We both have very close friends that all they talk about and play. My friend has
that's not all he talks about. I'll give him that. Okay. Like he plays other stuff.
No, my friend's he's gone to that conference 3 years in a row, like the fucking Super Bowl of Rocket League or whatever.
Really?
He went to New Jersey and Texas. He goes all around.
That's dope,
to the
actually.
Yeah.
But
not to play, just to
I'm not in. No, we're not into it like that. We just get on and we just like
he just wants to watch. He's not in.
Dude, we just talk shit through like kids on the internet when we play. But anyway, the inside joke was we were playing it, and we got our ass handed to us by a guy whose name was Girth Master.
Ew.
And it was just like...
long way around to get back to gross.
Yeah, it was weird. Anyway... The tree fell. It was a huge tree. It was anyway.
Storms.
Yeah. So I do have a story. This was when I was learning to drive.
Are you going to tell the storm story about when you stormed the Capitol on January 6th? Are you going to tell that one?
Yeah. Let's coming up. Thank you for the pardon.
I've been waiting to pull the trigger on that.
Thanks for the pardon.
Well, no pun intended, but I've been waiting on that I've been waiting on a couple hours.
That was good.
The drive here I was working.
When I was learning to drive, so I was like 15. I was with my dad. I was in his like old Chevy S10. I think everyone's dad, not yours, obviously, had a Chevy S10.
You are correct. Anyway. You know what kind of car my dad had growing up?
Who knows?
Nike Air Maxes. We walked. We had no car. He literally did not have a license and walked everywhere.
Oh, really?
And sometimes bicycles. And when I was of a certain age, he purchased probably stole me a bicycle to tag along on these fucking meth head journeys.
Dude, I love it.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome, dude.
Were you like...
we would pedal up to the store, get Mountain Dew, cherry sours.
Oh, yeah.
Everything a kid could want. And then we'd go back to the house, and he'd go upstairs, and I wouldn't see him for 4 to 5 hours.
And then he'd come back scratching and just really wired.
Dude, I've never said that out loud. I swear to God, every waking moment I spent at my dad's house, I was alone. I swear on my life, dude. He would see me for like 20 minutes when I got there, disappear upstairs with his like crackhead girlfriend of 10 years. And then I'd see him 4 hours later, and he'd be like, your mom's on her way. And I'd be like, all right.
Cool. Good hanging out.
That's obviously an exaggeration because I'm sure somebody in that family is going to hear that and get pissed off.
I don't.
But barely. That's barely an exaggeration. That did happen a lot.
I don't know how to joke about that. I'm uncomfortable.
No, it was cool, man.
Anyway,
back to Moonpine Rust.
Moonpine, yeah. So I'm driving. My dad's teaching me to drive. We're driving down the Kingsport Highway, going to get fireworks because we're fucking rednecks and it's July. And
hell yeah.
Yeah. And you can't sell them in Washington County. We lived in Washington County, so we had to go to Sullivan County.
Here's what would make that story slightly more white trash. If it took place any day following the 4th of July. Because you're like, they're cheaper after.
It was like July 2nd or 3rd. It was a couple days before.
It was August 5th. Like,
yeah. But I'm driving, and we're not driving to like the fireworks superstore. We're obviously driving to like a firework tent.
A tent.
Obviously.
Sure.
Because they're cheaper.
The big superstore with the spotlights and that's
too flashy.
That's the Walmart of fireworks.
That's like
you got to go to Jim Bob on the corner who's selling them out of his truck.
You're seeing a lot of like millionaires at the superstores. We weren't that.
Yeah,
you know,
Jaguars parked in the parking lot. You know, fucking
Cybertrucks,
Rolls-Royce, right?
Yeah,
bougie.
Anyway, so we're driving down. And it's a windy fucking day. It's storming, everything. Sure. And we're driving down the Kingsport Highway. Are you familiar with the Kingsport Highway? Just a little...
Is that
2-lane back way from Gray to Kingsport? Is what it is.
Sure.
It's Colonial Heights.
Right.
We're driving down there, and it is
not a fan.
Fucking
let me just say,
windy, bro.
Not a fan of that road at all.
I'm driving down, and out of nowhere, a kiddie pool just flies across the road.
Like what size kiddie? Like a Dollar General plastic one, or like a big blue rubber?
Like. Probably big. I mean, it was big, dude. Like it was
a fucking pool,
dude. Not like a permanent like temp. No,
like how deep? Like a foot deep?
Probably like 2 feet, a foot or two deep. But it's a kiddie pool. Goes flying across the room or the road.
And square one?
No, it was a circular. I think. I don't. Dude, this was also.
I need specific details.
This was 14 years ago, so bear with me on some details. Comes flying across the road and slams into somebody's house. And my dad just looks at me. He's like, I think it's time for you to pull over and let me drive. And I'm like, yeah.
That's
probably a good call.
That's a good plan. Wait, so the fact that like over 14 years as that story's going on, it's like a fishing story. That thing's probably gotten bigger. Like
probably,
you think originally it was like a condom?
Yeah, probably was a bag.
It's a tiny
probably just like a plastic bag floating in the wind.
Condom. Now it's a pool.
Have you ever been driving and a plastic bag hit your windshield?
No, but today...
Scariest shit of my entire life. The
today,
scariest shit's ever happened to me.
I was driving home from work, and on the opposite side of a highway, so like 2 lanes come the other direction, I was just driving, and you know how like sudden movement really catches, even over there.
Yeah.
It was like sudden movement caught, and I look, and this like piece of cardboard about the width of this table, but a lot taller.
Yeah.
Like I would say
when it first happened, was it like, a foot long or?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it was flat on the road because I didn't see it. And I'm assuming this dude didn't see it. I just watched it go and float up under a car as it passed over it. And then the car behind it, it covered the whole fucking
dude. That's
windshield. The whole thing. And they just like slowed down shit. And like, I guess gravity or the wind caught it and tipped it forward. And they ran over it, and it was still floating behind them, but I was going the other way, and I was like, "Oh my god,
dude, that is the scary."
That's
like
scary.
I had a plastic bag. I was going on the interstate one day, and I had a plastic bag cover my wind, like not the whole, but like cover it, like it was right in the driver's side.
Yeah,
dude, I'm going 75 miles an hour, and I'm like, "Fuck!" And yeah.
But you're a guy. I mean, you're a fine driver. You know, probably you didn't panic or crash or
didn't crash,
right? Well. But I mean,
I did open this door. I did open this podcast with a car accident that I got into. That was my fault.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, storm stuff, man.
God, I have another pool story too about a storm.
This is a storm. All my shit is just sad,
dude.
Every time I'm excited about a story, I tell it. You're like, that's just sad. That's not fun.
That's what friends are for, man.
But that's my whole material.
That's what friends are for.
And that's literally why halfway through my set, people start to awe for me because they're like, this poor guy. Like, I swear to God, it's funny.
They like I can't tell you how many times I've been in the audience and you're on stage and I've heard somebody be like, God, I hope he's in therapy.
Oh boy, well, and then I'm like, I'm in therapy,
and they're like, you just hear
like, oh, thank you. Yeah,
God,
thank God, this kid needs it. That's pretty good, actually. So when I was Jesus, here we go. All right. For context,
hold on. Can I make fun of whatever you're gonna say? Because sometimes like I just want to be sure. Can I make?
Of course you can. There's not. That's why I'm saying.
Just want to make sure.
So if you're familiar with the show, and if you got the shout out a few moments ago to an episode called Moon Pie and Rusty, that is where Michael and I exchanged white trash stories. And what we quickly realized is Michael's white trash is leagues above my white trash. Some of the stories that I have are beyond like sad. Well, then fucking John Murphy came in here and blew us both away.
Yeah.
And Travis. I think Travis was even worse maybe. But anyways, so in the way I grew up, the two trailers, remember from that episode? Do you remember this? Yeah. For anybody who doesn't remember, I lived in a single wide.
Yeah.
And probably 100 feet away, let's say, down the hill, there was another single wide. Those were my grandparents and my uncle, who's the same age as my mom, lived there. And he's an adult at the time, and he's lots of fun. Lots of stories there. Anyways, that's where the fights would happen in the
Confederate
driveway.
flag guy, right?
Bingo.
Yeah.
That's the one. That guy. So,
really loving the current administration, I'm sure.
Big fan.
Yeah, big fan.
Huge. He's huge.
That was good.
So I lived there, and what we would do is we had this barn that was like, to call it a barn is being generous. About the size of the studio, not the whole basement, but this studio, or maybe even
it's a shed.
Okay, but it's so under that, it's underground. It's all concrete. It's a root cellar. Okay, from way back.
I don't think I would call that a barn in any capacity.
There's a barn above it, I'm saying.
Sounds like there's a shed above it. But anyway, go ahead.
There's a shed above it. We called it the barn because it was red. So if you have a small ass shack, paint it red, it's a barn.
Okay.
Note to self. So we would go under it though. That's what every time there was like high winds, my grandpa would flip because we had this huge tree between our two trailers, massive.
Yeah.
And he was always like, one of these days it's going to tip one way or the other, and we're all going to die. He liked to bring that up a lot when I was a kid, which is a really cool thing to tell a young kid. Doesn't make them worried about where they live or feel unsafe or at home ever. So every time there was like a high wind, I have this distinct memory where they would come yell at us or knock on our trailer. Me and Mom would have to leave. And we also had a dog, Sasha. Shout out to my girl Sasha. She's dead. But she was chained up in between the two trailers.
To the tree. Please be to the tree.
To the tree.
Hell yeah.
To one of a couple of big trees. So I would have to stop and get Sasha off her chain, and or her cord. We respected her, so it was a cord. Yeah,
dude, there's nothing like a fucking outside dog from 15 years ago, 20 years ago. You know what I mean? I had an outside dog, dude. We had Coco, who had a
have you seen Bargatze's newest special?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you remember? I just watched it for the first time last week. He has a joke in there about this exactly, where he's like, our dogs today, they're doodles. They're not dogs. They're almost people. And then he's like, they're not 80s. Leave your dog outside.
Dude, yeah, we had one of those runs too, man, in our backyard. The poster's still there. My parents' dog now like sleeps with my dad every night. Like, fuck no, dude. That
They've come a long way.
Dude, our dogs were not allowed to look at the house.
They've
like, you know what I mean? Like, they're like, this is your home. This yard facing this way is your fucking home, dude.
They built a fence between the doghouse and yours just so they couldn't see
dude.
where you live. Oh, shit. That's funny.
New joke coming to one of my several booked open mics.
Oh, boy. Put the poster out. So, okay. So what I'm saying is we lived in these things. They would come knock on the trailer.
Gotta get Sasha.
I had to go get Sasha. And then as a family, we walked quite a ways down a steep, very poorly maintained
in the wind,
gravel driveway. In the wind. And what I remember is we lived on top of this hill. I would say the one, but that's kind of weird. But it was in Blountville, very hilly region. And from our two trailers, there's actually, oddly enough, a really nice view because we lived way up on this hill. And you could see a highway where they carved out through the mountain, like a huge, nice view. And I remember that the sky would be yellow, like tornado. You know, a yellow sky storm? Isn't that weird?
That's not what you want to see.
So I used to have nightmares about this, and that's why I think it's probably distorted in my nightmares. It fucking looks like I'm in Mexico on a TV show.
Looks like looks like you're about to poison a cartel boss.
It's tinted yellow, like a Breaking Bad episode. But
thank you for getting the reference immediately.
So, but we would go and we would get in that shed, right? And my grandpa would always be like, we have to be down. And it even had cellar doors that you would shut or whatever. No, I'm sorry, it didn't. It had a one that kind of was diagonal, but it got stuck and shit. And so, but we had to take the dog. And the place is like this big. So there'd be like my grandma, my uncle, my mom, me, my grandpa, and a dog. And then just old bookshelves full of, I mean, fucking like spiders, snakes, creatures, moles, because it's a cement box. So anything that got in there under this door just stayed until we opened it for the next storm. You know what I'm saying? And like the dog was terrified, and we had like a little battery powered radio down there and some lamps that he would kerosene lamps, like we were living in the Dust Bowl. Bro. Is what I am saying. I kind of
dude. It sounds like you were like one kick away from killing it, like on a kerosene lamp from killing all of you.
100%. And the funny part was every time there'd be like no rain. The rain hadn't even got to us yet. Yeah. And he'd be like, in the shed.
You're there for hours.
So exactly, bro. Exactly. I remember falling asleep in there during a storm, which had probably ended 3 hours earlier. And then like being woken up and being like, come on, let's go to bed. Let's go back up. It's fine. Everything's alive. And that was a couple times a year.
Yeah.
From age 8 to 13.
Dude, one time
the most formative of your years.
The worst storm that we ever had at my house. So we had a really bad tornado. And I also lived in a modular home, real estate agent. I can't say the other one.
Jesus Christ.
It was double wide though.
If you say modular home community on this episode, I will kill both of us.
Modular neighborhood.
That might be worse.
Modular home neighborhood.
That implies an HOA, which they're just...
Well, definitely no HOA, brother.
It's just one guy like, chickens in the front, chickens in the back only.
My parents' house alone would eliminate any HOA. Would make any HOA president shake.
Shoo.
Anyway, so we had one storm. This is a long story, actually. So let me backstory. We had an above ground pool growing up. Okay. But it wasn't the like rubber ones. It was the metal kind. Mom got a bonus.
Quit bragging.
Mom got a bonus.
Quit bragging, bro.
Mom got a bonus, and we got one of those. Right. So
you went out to Sam's and you picked it up.
No, we were a Walmart family. We couldn't afford the membership to Sam's.
Right. Same here.
But anyway, so
I got one now though, coming up.
It was like a metal.
It's my girlfriend's. I don't pay for it.
I have my parents.
Her mom does.
Funny enough, my parents pay for the Sam's membership that I have that I don't use now.
I'm not coming up at all.
Yeah.
I'm going straight down.
I pay for, of all the streaming services I have, I pay for Peacock, which is the cheapest of all the streaming services that I have.
You're like, I'll get Amazon Prime with ads.
Yeah.
It's like everybody, you just put in your email.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, here's my freebie account, guys. Yeah.
Tubi, you're welcome.
Anyway, so you know what I'm talking about, the metal framed ones, right? But we weren't like millionaires.
With the plastic snap-on.
Yeah.
Just for reference, how many years ago was this?
Fucking, they probably got it 20 years ago.
So you're doing pretty good 20 years ago. You got one of those?
Young.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I was like, have I told you the bee sting story? Like,
well, no, but hold on. Like that pool 20 years ago, I'm saying that's flexing on the neighborhood. You're like, look at this shit.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Here's what I want to say. We literally put one in my grandma's yard 2 summers ago.
Hell yeah.
We are 20 years behind, but
they're not
by God,
they're not that
expensive.
They're only a couple $100.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, dude.
This was not a couple hundred. This is a lot.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I think the one they got was only a couple hundred. It was nice. I mean, it served. It was like maybe 4.5, 5 feet deep. It wasn't like, but I was like 8 or 9. And have I told you guys the bee sting story of when I got stung in the ass?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was getting
a long time ago.
I was getting my neighbors to come swim in that pool. Like that's how long ago.
Okay.
So I was young.
Sure.
Anyway, so we had a feud with one of our neighbors, as you do in white trash communities.
Oh, yeah.
Don't know what it was about. I was very young.
Feuding, you're not doing nothing at all.
I was very young.
Why even live in a modular home community?
If you're not going to be pissed off at one of your neighbors.
If you're not going to feud.
Yeah. So I don't know what it was, but anyway, so they put the cover on the pool for the winter.
Also, can we just say, in a trailer park, they do all hate each other. And it's because their walls are made of paper.
Because we hear everything.
Everything.
Dude.
You hear what the guy on the other end of the modular home community hears.
Oh, yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. Anyway,
terrible.
So they put the cover on it for the winter, right?
Sure.
And we uncovered it the following spring, and the neighbor that we were feuding with had put a dead cat in there. So that was fun. It took us a while to get that pool up and going. That same year.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah. Did you do it?
Pretty cool. No. Yeah. At 5 years old, I was like, one day, motherfucker. Yeah. One day.
Wouldn't that be the longest joke of all time?
That would be that. I like stuff like that takes 20 years to pull off.
The punchline, yeah.
And I know I've said it 15 times on this show, but if you don't know my story, go back and find it somehow. The story of my grandpa and his brother sending a copy of Brokeback Mountain to each other. I've told that on here, right? I may have just told Travis this.
I don't think so.
I may have just told Travis this, dude. Forgive me if I had. I thought I had. So my grandpa and his brother were semi-close in age, and they both came up at a time when Westerns were a big thing, like the early 60s, you know? And so obviously that's why I'm a huge Western fan too. But they did this thing. They lived about 8 hours apart for most of their life, because by the time, he's a little bit older, so by the time my grandpa was growing up, he was moved away and married and shit. And they didn't really live, they did for a couple of years. But for probably 30 plus years, they did this thing where about once a month or so, they would get a package from the other one.
Oh, that's
and it
nice.
was a Western that they saw out on DVD or something and thought they might like. And then they started collecting like Gunsmoke, the entire series, every volume. And sometimes it'd be like, you know, for whatever, all Walmarts are the same. But my grandpa would be like, Richard can't find volume 4. We got to go to Walmart and see if ours has it. Yeah. Like they were just selling like hotcakes.
Very wholesome. DVDs. I like it.
Super wholesome. Went on for, no lie, forever. Like for 30 years. It went from VHS to Blu-ray. And obviously now with streaming.
Y'all made it with Blu-ray.
Well, that was just 2 years ago also. So
we never had a Blu-ray.
Here's the thing. Yeah. So that goes on for 30 years. And then one day my grandpa gets a package, and it takes time for the package to mail from Northern Virginia down to here. So my grandpa opens a package, and it's Brokeback Mountain.
I love it, dude.
Right? Which means that my Uncle Richard, who by that point was well into his 70s, maybe even early 80s, was at the store and was like, well, fuck me, Jake Gyllenhaal. Wow, what in a Western. And Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger is the one saying fuck me.
That is incredible, right? So he'd buy 2 copies.
I've actually never seen the movie, so
I
don't know
buy 2 copies,
yeah.
Send a sealed one to my grandpa, crack open the first one, check it out, and then they talk about it on the phone for hours. So my grandpa, I'll never forget this, opens it, sees that it's Brokeback Mountain. He already knows. Somehow he knows. Okay. It's in pop culture. Right. He already knows.
He's seen Fox News.
He's seen, sure, something at the time. Somebody was pissed about it. So he calls my Uncle Richard. And my Uncle Richard answers and just goes, I know. 30 years in the making. 2 words. You can't get funnier than that. You can't get funnier than that.
How far do you think your uncle made it?
Have you seen it?
I've not.
Okay. I've never seen it. So I don't know how
I hope he made it the whole movie, though.
How quick does it turn gay is my question.
I hope he made it the whole movie. And like I hope like the gay stuff happened and started and was happening. And he's just like, that Jake boy's going to end up with a nice young lady at the end. It just waited out to the end. You know what I mean?
Hear me out on this. Tell me this isn't a funny thought. He starts the movie. There's a little, you know how sometimes in movies there's little like foreshadowing? Yeah. There's little gay moments maybe. And then later there's a huge sex scene. Imagine during the little foreshadowing gay moment, he gets up to go get a beer. He misses it.
Oh, I love it.
He misses it.
I love it.
So he comes back and there's another 25. There's Act 2. Act 2 is all cowboy stuff.
Yeah.
and
he's invested at this point.
And then with no context or foreshadowing whatsoever, these two cowboys just start fucking in a tent.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not the funniest thing of all time.
And he's so invested. He just has to.
If that's not an episode of a sitcom, I don't know what it is.
God, I love it.
Oh my God.
Back to my pool.
Back to your pool. Sorry. That got me fired up.
So that same year that we had the dead cat, we had a tornado hit, kind of like Kingsport Gray area.
Okay.
And that was the only tornado. We had nowhere. We didn't have a fucking cellar.
Is that the same one that hit like Abingdon and shit about maybe 15 years ago? Too?
Maybe.
I bet it's the same.
Yeah, I don't think I knew Abingdon existed 15 years ago.
Glade Springs, that's a small town in
I don't
Virginia,
think I knew any of those existed.
Glade Springs got fucked.
Until I was an adult.
Like,
you know?
they had a giant truck stop. It was just gone.
Yeah, so this hit, and we went to our bathtub because that's like the safest place.
Unless you have a cellar.
We don't. We didn't.
That was your.
Yeah.
See, you should have had a barn, a red shack with a cellar.
Anyway, our pool blew the fuck away.
Just gone.
Gone.
Full of water at the time?
I must not have been. I guess now that I think about it, I must not have been.
Or maybe it just collapsed one wall, all the water drained,
and then
carried that off.
Yeah, I mean there was like some scrap. Like we knew, like we used to have something here.
there was sign.
But yeah, no, dude, it was. I guess the water would have like it would have been full of water because like what time of year it was.
The thought of you out there like an Indian tracker, like getting down, like it's still warm, like. There's just pieces of a pool left behind.
Dude, that pool was fucking gone, bro.
That's scary because who knows? I mean,
we were fine.
Where does that land? But I'm saying if you're driving.
I hope it landed in that neighbor's yard.
You think a plastic bag made you shit yourself, dude? Fucking your pool.
A metal pool, dude. This one was metal, bro.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Yeah, it made airsoft fights a little
scary.
less fun because we had less places to hide. Anyway.
Yeah, right. Well, this is a storm themed episode, obviously, but storms do scare me. Like it is, I can't watch the footage of like.
Oh, I love them. I'm terrified of tornadoes, but I love.
No, I mean
the
like
movies.
the after when they're like cleaning
when
up.
It's sad.
Yeah, except there's one, and you may have seen this one. Shout out to this lady. She's probably not alive, but there's one from a while ago where there's a lady who they're interviewing her and she's like, it's all I've lost everything. It's just terrible. But the hardest part is I've lost my dog, like my baby. And then
they find it.
Behind her, it's in the rubble.
I've seen that.
Oh boy, I'm crying just thinking about it. It's one of the best. That's one of my algorithm things. Every now and then it'll hit me with like hope core.
I get a lot of like.
You get a lot of hope core.
I get a lot of tornadoes just in general. Yeah,
yours is the house going down. Yeah. Mine is the house being rebuilt.
Yeah, mine is like
interesting.
Yeah,
why live there?
Huh?
Why live there?
Oh, because they're dumb. Like you know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, sure.
Just there's no other.
I mean, if you imagine you're looking for homes and you have a realtor and he's like, "Where are we looking?" And you're like, "Whole country, anywhere."
He lives in the place. He lives in the place that he's.
You would know that he lives in the place, and he's like, "I'm the #1 realtor in Tornado Alley."
Yeah, dude, fuck.
You live in a place called Tornado Alley. How are you gonna sell houses?
Have you seen the Twister movies?
No.
Okay, so let me tell the story of how I got caught in a tornado December. So my wife got me tickets. We went and saw Hamilton in Greensboro, North Carolina in December, and fucking loved Hamilton. Anyway, but so we woke up and we're like an hour from Charlotte. There's an IKEA in Charlotte, and I'm a homeowner. Have you ever been to an IKEA?
I've not been, but I have some of their products. I'm a fan.
IKEA stores are. Back me up. Everyone back me up on that. IKEA stores are... Yeah. You drive.
I've got a lot of cheap bullshit from IKEA in my house.
If you're within an hour from an IKEA, you go to IKEA. That's right.
Do they do free something too? Like
delivery?
Drinks or... No.
I don't... Probably.
Like while you're walking around.
I don't know.
Grand Home Furnishing does. I don't know. Is that a chain or is that a local thing?
That's...
Local?
Probably... I think that's a chain. It feels like a chain.
Is it? Maybe a local chain, maybe. I don't know. Write in and let us know if you've got Grand Home Furniture.
But
when I was a kid, and I think they still do, they give you a little bag of popcorn.
They give you a Coke and popcorn.
And a Coke.
Yeah.
Or a Sprite.
We bought an Ottoman from there.
That's the only reason I go.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, legitimately, as a kid, we would sometimes go there when we did not need furniture because Mom was like, we'll get... I was like, I'm thirsty. And she's like, we could stop at the grocery store. We could stop at the gas station and spend $3. Or
we can go to Grand Home Furnishing.
Pretend to need a couch.
Yeah.
For 20 minutes. Right.
I like the way your mom, that's...
Hey, you don't raise a kid as a single mom at age 17 by spending all your money on Coke at the gas station. Yeah. Okay. Either kind
you
of
spend
Coke.
all your money on Mr. K from Kroger,
right?
Because you can't afford Coke.
Yeah. Anyway. Oh yeah, Dr. Wow.
Dude, we get Summit Cola from Aldi. It's $3 for a 12-pack, or I could spend $8 on a 12-pack of real Coke.
Dude,
and
you're
you know
speaking
what?
my language now. You preach, buddy.
Brother. Anyway,
Dino Bites instead of Fruity Pebbles.
Dude, I love off-brand. The name of off-brand things.
They're better.
So like Nilla wafers. That's the brand, right?
Yeah.
I go to Aldi and I buy vanilla wafers.
Right.
And I did not know.
Are those the same they're just made in Virginia?
I do.
It just says VA at the beginning and you reading it that way?
Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. Anyway, so we go to IKEA. We're going from Greensboro, North Carolina to Charlotte, North Carolina. And it's like a nasty rainy day. Yeah. It's like one of those rains where you really can't see,
Ugh. I had one on the way here, actually. Not a fan.
And all of a sudden, like, I could see and then I could not.
Yeah.
Like, it is
quick.
You can't see anything.
Sometimes it's like somebody flicked a switch.
Yeah. And I, like, pull over. Thankfully, there's nobody on the right side of me. I pull over. There's an exit right in front of me. And both our phones start going off. Tornado emergency. Seek shelter immediately.
Cool.
And I'm like, fuck.
How long ago was this?
It was in December. Yeah, it was whenever we were like
tornado in December. Wow, what do you know?
Global warming, huh? Anyway,
Santa.
So yeah, dude, it was like 3 days after Christmas. It was a delayed gift. Fucking Charlotte was real bad last year.
Here you go, asshole.
Charlotte was real bad last year.
Yeah.
So no, dude, we're like
we just pieces of coal flying by you.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't know if you've ever seen tornado emergency seek shelter immediately on your phone.
I probably haven't seen it on a smartphone, but I probably heard it over that battery-powered radio on that shelf under that lamp in that cellar.
Tornado, like that is real because it goes watch, warning, emergency.
Right. That's like it's.
Everyone thinks warning's the worst one. No.
There's actually. Did you know there's one more after that? There's
dying.
Watch, warning, emergency, and the last one you just get a text that says turn around.
Yeah, you're dead. Yeah, dude. So we get the emergency.
It's right behind you.
We get the emergency, and like thankfully I did pull over right before an exit, and I just said fuck it, and I floored it off the exit, and there was a Target like right off the exit, and we like parked poorly. I did not park well.
You went into Target.
We sprinted into Target, and the person was like, "We're taking shelter in the back," and we took shelter in this stock room of Target for like 30 minutes.
Did you steal some shit while you're back there?
No, they were pretty like.
You can be honest.
Don't touch shit.
Oh,
made friends back there. Of other people.
I thought you were going to say made love back there. Yeah. That would be an interesting
We did go to IKEA right after that.
And then 9 months later.
And that's where we did it.
Had OJ.
Yeah, that's what it was. She was conceived
in the back of a Target. God, she's going to be insufferable.
We love Target.
She grows up.
She's a Target girl. We took her to Walmart one time and she looked uncomfortable.
Her first words were, "It smells like broken here."
Yeah.
She fucking hates Walmart.
Yeah, dude. She's not a Walmart
Walmart's
girly.
right by my new place, dude. I'm getting on a Walmart.
Oh, in Bristol? The one in Bristol? Mm-hmm. Dude, I showed a house yesterday, like a minute away from there.
You're pretty close.
Anyway. But yeah, that was the tornado we were stuck in. And then there was a tornado like 2023, right after Olivia was born.
Yeah.
And that was wild.
Was it Tornado Olivia? Was that the name of it?
Probably. I don't know.
Imagine they're like, Tropical Storm OJ is making its way straight to you.
Dude, so right after she was born, like this tornado, I mean, she's 3-4 weeks old. Like, fresh kid. So it's in May.
Don't say fresh kid. I don't like that.
She's fresh. Still,
I don't enjoy that.
Still had a little umbilical cord. No. You know what I mean?
Fresh is not the
adjective. That's for all
the
parents out there for that one.
Dude, fresh is not the adjective to use for your newborn.
Dude, if your kid still has a little
fresh
umbilical
is a
cord.
Food term, Michael.
Nathaniel, if your kid still has a little umbilical cord, you can call him a fresh kid.
No. Fresh is a term for
like
donuts or
it stays,
seafood.
I just need to acknowledge, it stays for a while because I didn't.
I'm aware, but I'm saying if I go to the butcher and he's like, it's all fresh today, I'm like, that's good.
Yeah, but like all that stuff was alive and fresh at some point.
Yeah, but that's implying that it's fresh as in it's good to eat. Fresh means safe to eat. That is hot and ready. Bro, that's not. No.
So she was a youngin. Still a youngin.
Fresh baby.
And anyway, we had a tornado. This was just a warning. And we came down here and with our dog. And our dog was like shaking.
Sure.
When they're shaking in their boots. Yeah.
Sometimes,
fun. Yeah. Wasn't as fun.
Dogs don't wear boots.
My wife got pissed.
Sometimes they have socks on.
Because I woke her up. And then I was like, hey, we need to go to the basement. And then I ran and grabbed our child. And I ran to the basement and left her.
That's good.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have woke her up. Why'd you try to wake her up?
I know. I did wake her up. She came down eventually.
You just running down the steps.
She came down after she was
baby.
impaled with like a limb.
Mommy can't hurt us anymore.
That one actually sucked. That tornado, man, it took me like 3 or 4 days to, dude, one of like the best,
clean up?
one of like the funniest, like the most reacted thing I've ever posted on social media actually came after that because
when you slipped on the roof?
No, that was like second. It was the same timeline though. Because my child she was still fresh.
Wasn't that because was that after the storm because there was shit on your roof? Or
no, I was cleaning the skylights.
Oh.
But no, so like after that storm, dude, it took me like 3 days to clean up all the branches. Because dude, there was like, and I mean, it was piled. It was like a 10 foot by like 5 foot tall pile. Like that's how much shit I had to clean up.
I remember, yeah.
Out of my yard. And I had like 3 or 4 different people stop me driving by and was like, "You guys get a lot of wind here the other night? The fuck do you think what do you mean, dude?" Yes.
No, actually, I've been climbing trees.
Yeah.
And a lot of the branches break.
You see the trees down in the neighborhood. You see all the limbs everywhere.
Like, we couldn't afford somebody to come trim them, so I've just been breaking branches off.
Dude, I was so mad, bro.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, so
storms, dude. Riders on the storm. This is it.
I'm sure I have other storms. You have more storms?
Yeah, man, I've been in a lot of storms. I was in one. Well, I lived in Virginia Beach during the summers as a kid.
Oh, so like every day it was a monsoon.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, I mean it's beach weather. It can not quite like Florida level where it's like it rains every day.
It's like the prettiest day of all time, and then for 45 minutes it's like
it's Chesapeake Bay storms. So I would almost argue it's worse. It's different than like a tropical storm. You know, like it's big and it lingers and shit. And because there's no like, I don't know, something about the air. I'm not a fucking meteorologist. Call Dave Dirks, regional reference. But when I lived there one summer, that was a good one. I was there from fucking May to August, you know, almost. So worst time for storms.
Is that the uncle who Brokeback Mountain uncle?
No. This is my dad's sister.
Okay.
And her husband was in the Navy. That's where I worked on the crab boats and shit. Anyway, or the crab store. So while I was up there one time, I had this, I think I've said this on the show before too, but I had this cousin named Logan who, shout out to my boy, I love him so much, but he was a little bit older than me and he was just old enough to where it's like I was dead weight, you know, like if I was 12, he was like 19.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, you're not fucking taking your 12. You know, like at the time, it kind of broke my heart when I was a kid.
Yeah, but now you get it.
I totally get it, 100%. Yeah. By the time I was his age then, I was like, oh, yeah, fuck any 12-year-old. Well, don't do that. But that's a hack.
Clip it.
That's a hack joke. I'm honestly more embarrassed that I tried that joke.
Clip it without the don't. You notice I didn't laugh? That's why you should clip it without the don't.
It's a fucking hack joke. Anyways, so one day a couple times didn't I tell the story where he took me to the beach? Surely to God I've told that on this show.
Wait, is Logan a boy or girl? Because now you called her she. Okay,
he's a boy.
Anyway.
No, so my aunt would get on his case all the time. Like, you got to take your cousin out, hang out with your cousin.
I don't think you've said this story.
He's like, you know, my cousin, whatever. But so a couple times he would get tired of her bitching at him, and we would go to he took me to go-kart race one time or to the water park a few times and shit. And one time we went to the beach, and but it was like a 19-year-old who's not like he's just a pothead, kind of a loser, but not really. Like, anyways. Kind of a loner, I should say. And then there's me who's 12 and I'm not doing nothing. So none of us had like been to the beach without adults before, you know? So we literally didn't even get dressed. I remember like he was just like let's just go. And we didn't get towels or anything. Nothing.
Oh, you were very unprepared.
Oh, I went in like tennis shoes and socks. We were walking out there in tennis shoes and socks. And then
that's the worst thing I've ever heard.
We may have. I'm going to be honest. We may have grabbed one towel, but I'm not sure that either
for
of
the
us
two
had
of you.
A towel. Right, like just that somebody had one in the car, maybe. And I just remember setting like our hat and our shirts and sunglasses and shit either in the sand or on one mutual towel. Maybe I can't remember. And then we got in the ocean and we were just in there for a few minutes, and I realized that was it. Like that was the objective. You know, like none of us knew what to say.
Yeah.
Or do. Because I didn't like grow up with him necessarily, you know.
So you don't even like know each other either.
No, we do. I mean, he's my cousin, but he lived in California for 10 years when I was a kid, so I didn't not super well. So we're just kind of in there like, yeah, this is the beach, you know, like just not know what to say. And these fucking girls swam over that were like closer to his age for sure, maybe like 17, 18, 19 something. And they started talking to us, and I remember having like a panic attack because to this day I don't know, I just can't talk to women, but. they came up, they started talking, and I remember him talking to her, and my mind was blown. I was like, this motherfucker is talking to girls. Can you believe that? Yeah. I mean, it blew. You know what I mean? When you're 12, bro, and insecure, and your 19-year-old brother, he probably was just like, "Hi, how you doing?" Yeah. My name's like, and I was like, God, he is spitting game right now. Yeah. Like, I just thought he was the coolest.
And then in reality, he creeped him out, and they like regretted swimming over there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And they're like, we're actually just passing through to get to our husbands or whatever. But so anyway, so then we leave, and we probably fucking drip dry because I'm sure we had no towels, and we leave. And on the way home from that, we got stuck in this storm, bro. That was like a Florida storm. The only thing I remember is because we were leaving the beach, and we lived 5 minutes from the coast. On the drive back, there were palm trees that were like bent all the way.
Oh,
shit. Like the top was touching the ground, you know? And like he would, like if they were spaced out a little bit wider than the car, he would like check to make sure that one wasn't about to go before he drove past it. Like they were about to rip up out of the fucking
Sounds like a very responsible 19-year-old.
Oh, the best.
Yeah.
No, not at all. It couldn't be more opposite. Yeah. But no, but I mean, we got back and same thing. Like chairs from the neighborhood were blown everywhere. Our yard was destroyed.
I can't tell you how many plastic chairs we lost growing up.
A big storm is scary.
You know what I mean? Those $3 chairs from Walmart, gone, brother.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite porn star? Stormy Daniels?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to stay on brand.
She's someone's. I want you to know, I was trying to bring it up too, and I couldn't.
Who's your favorite former political enemy of the current president? Stormy Daniels?
Yeah, there you go. I couldn't think of the best way because I also wanted to do it, you know, and I just couldn't think of the best way. So thank you for that. Yeah. You ever hear about people talking about the blizzard in 92?
All the time. I thought it was 93, but my grandpa used to bring it up quite a bit.
I mean, it was before me.
Every time somebody mentioned the word snow,
God,
was
dude.
Like, in 1993.
If somebody is 45 or older and lives in East Tennessee, right? Yeah, because then they'd been like a teenager.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that impact of that storm was anywhere... give me a percentage that storm impacted our area as much as Helene.
1%.
Nothing, right?
Maybe.
Nothing. That was nothing.
2% maybe.
And they fucking bitched about that for the last
30 fucking years.
I know. We weren't even alive. I wasn't even alive.
Dude, I wasn't alive.
This shit.
Yeah.
Y'all got to stop with 93.
Dude, fucking.
It's a little snow. So what?
For those people, the blizzard in 93, people got snowed in their houses for 2 fucking days.
2 days.
Dude, we got snowed in our houses for 2 days. Like, in January.
Dude, when I was a teenager, I didn't leave my house for 6 days.
Dude, I remember
and there was no snow.
I just
didn't fucking.
I just didn't have any friends.
I was just on Xbox playing Ark Survival Evolved 14 hours a day.
I've never played Ark Survival. I've never played Ark. Anyway,
I'm going home to play it tonight. Go ahead.
I'm gonna play Rocket League tonight.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and maybe I'll rematch the Girth Master. Anyway,
I could feel you trying to get to it.
Yep. Anyway,
all right.
When I was 13, so I don't know if they still do this. I've never got to go. 94.9 used to do electric 94.9. Ginger and Izzy. I think it's just Izzy now.
It is. It's Izzy in the morning.
Yeah. Did Ginger die?
I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure.
But they used to do acoustic Christmas.
Well, Ginger's not for everybody. Some people are allergic.
Yeah,
It's a little strong in the Asian dishes.
More of a sage guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time to get back on track.
Okay. Right. I hate us.
That's all the herb jokes that we have. Herb Dean, UFC. Sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway, fuck. It's messed me up.
Right.
Anyway, so they did the thing called acoustic Christmas every year. Yep. Do you remember that?
Boy, do I. I can tell you all about it.
Did you go ever?
Yes. My stepdad, who would later become my stepdad, his aunt or something works for the radio station and got us free tickets. And
Ginger?
Here's the fun. No, not Ginger. Here's the funny part about that is that he has 2 daughters, my stepsisters, and at the time my parents had not married yet. So there was some obvious favoritism from that side of still is. It's their actual blood. To those girls.
So bad people.
So she would get us all tickets to go, but she would only get 2 backstage passes. So I was at every acoustic Christmas, but I would wait in the crowd with Mom while my sisters went backstage and shook hands with Nelly and shit. And I had to stand out there.
Well,
like
to be fair,
else.
they probably could only get so many backstage
Sure.
Anyway.
Is that also why I slept on the floor in every hotel we stayed in?
It's because you're a boy.
Well, there's 5 in the family. There's the parents. They slept in one bed. Second bed was my 2 sisters, close in age sisters, not a big deal. And I slept.
And there was a third bed for the dog.
Yeah.
No, so I was in the 8th grade, so 13, 14, however old that is. Mm-hmm. And my brother got me tickets for my birthday to Acoustic Christmas. My birthday is December 18th. Acoustic Christmas was on December 18th.
Right.
That year, he gave it to me a couple days early.
Couple days early. These are for 10 years from now.
Yeah.
We don't know who's going to be popular, but it's going to be a great show.
Day of the concert,
mm-hmm.
we got 9 inches of snow, and they canceled the concert.
Sure it wasn't 4 and you exaggerated?
I mean, they canceled the concert. I don't know. But they got 9.
It's a size joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They got like 9 inches of snow, and they canceled the concert, and I've never been to Acoustic Christmas. Never got to go.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're not missing much. Those were dog shit concerts.
I got into a really big snowball fight that day with my neighbor. Yeah, I would have been like 13 or 14.
It was exciting, man. I remember.
However old you are in the 8th grade, I think 14, right?
Yeah, 13 maybe.
Yeah.
I saw so many there, man. That at the time, they're kind of hilarious now, but like the Fray. Do you know the Fray?
I think that was. I guess that wasn't the year.
Boy, I saw the shit out of them.
I used to like the Fray.
I had a good time at the Fray.
I used to like the Fray.
I know. I was just standing there like, God, everyone knows I'm in over my head. And at this concert, I mean, I loved it, dude. But you know, that's how to save a life. And so
that's good.
I was there. Yeah. I saw them. Who else?
Did you ever take a cable car or no?
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah.
I saw Nelly.
Yeah.
One time was there. That was pretty cool. That fucking show was packed.
Oh, you want to talk about a concert?
It's so hot in here. It's getting hot in here. And
fuck off. You want to hear a concert I didn't get to go to and I was like very upset by? Wiz Khalifa came to ETSU when I was at ETSU.
Yeah.
But it was a 21 and over show.
Yeah. Oh, and you weren't 21, dude.
You
were just too young and wild and free.
That concert happened 3 days before my 21st birthday.
Ooh, missed it by that much.
Yeah, I was so mad, dude.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You think
I was young, wild,
dude?
and
Do
free.
you think there were a lot of minorities at that concert?
I don't know where you're going.
Like
with
you
this.
think it was all black and yellow? Can we put that on? Can we?
I didn't know where you were going. I was scared when you were setting that up. That was good.
Yeah.
I don't know how the general public will think of that joke, but I like that.
Man,
that was good.
Hey, I know how to make Michael laugh.
Comedy's all about, averting expectations. And my expectations were gone. I had no idea where you're... Oh.
Yeah. Anyways.
I saw Tyler, the Creator in Asheville.
Did you really?
Fun. I did.
Oh, actually, we've talked about it.
It was the worst concert I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And I've listened to a lot of Tyler, the Creator lately. But...
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a real cool kid.
That is cool. I didn't go to a lot of concerts, but we went to those, like Acoustic Christmas shit.
I didn't. My first
Colby Calais, we saw one year. You remember her?
No, I don't know.
She was a ukulele girl. Andy Grammer, big name at the time.
Is that no? It's Lucas Graham.
He had like 1 or 2 big hits there for a while.
My first concert I ever went to was Puddle of Mud. You ever heard of them?
Yeah.
Alita's Way opened for him.
Blurry, is that them?
I don't know. My brother's a big fan.
That's
took me.
Blurry.
That was like my brother's 6 years older than me. That was kind of one of like your cousin situations where he just kind of like took me somewhere.
He was probably forced to.
Yeah, probably. And that was the first concert I ever went to. That was a lot of fun. I saw Puddle of Mud, Alita's Way. It was fun.
That's cool.
Hoodie Allen. Saw them. You know who that is? Nope. He's a rapper. Saw him when I was in high school.
I know the name, but I don't.
Tyler, the Creator. Saw him right after high school. Then I've seen a couple big concerts, but mostly with my wife because I like music. Don't get me wrong. I do like music, but I don't go to concerts for me. Like I would rather go to like a comedy show.
Sure.
So, but like every other concert I've ever been to.
Dude, I got some good tickets coming up.
Been with her. I'm about to get her some tickets for something actually.
So we have Shane.
Dude, I'm seeing Aziz Ansari this month.
Oh, that's cool.
I forgot all about that.
We have Shane in April, I think.
I'm seeing Aziz Ansari like next week or something. Holy shit.
Shane in Knoxville, and then Segura at the casino in May.
Yeah.
And then I just got Louis tickets for Nashville for August because I have a feeling this will be one of his last tours.
Did you pay extra for the jerk off experience or no?
It's actually less. Tickets are less
for the jerk.
If you let him jerk off in front of you, it's 10% off. Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
I've seen the concerts I've seen though. I saw
it's at the Ryman too, which is pretty sick.
I've seen a lot of very girly
comics.
No
movies.
Yes. Like
that's true.
You're gonna make fun of me when I say some of the musicians
Shows?
I've seen.
Oh, musicians.
Yeah.
Well, then probably don't.
I've seen John Mayer. I've seen John Mayer.
I like John Mayer.
I've seen Justin Bieber.
I cry sometimes. I like John Mayer, dude.
I've seen Justin Bieber.
Yeah, dude.
Florida Georgia line. There's a lot of storms there.
Florida Georgia line.
Yeah, Dan and Shay.
What?
I saw that concert actually was crazy. That concert so it was a more
Florida Georgia line, dude. That makes me want to cruise the fuck out of there.
That was the headliner, and then Dan and Shay was like the feature, but the two openers, Morgan Wallen and Hardy. Before either one of them were big. Sure. Anyway, I do want to bring up one thing.
Dude, it's hard to believe that was 7 summers ago.
Okay, so we have a theme of you making fun of the girly bullshit that I watch with my wife.
That's a segment on this show. Welcome back to Michael's Gay, everybody.
Yeah. I did just rewatch that 70s show. That's not the
Should we start a segment called Michael's Not Gay, but make the word not really small on the graphic?
Yeah, that would be very funny. Okay, so here's the new one. I have been pretty invested into Love is Blind.
Crypto. No.
Yeah. Bro, it's wild. I get it.
Not for me.
No, I get it, man.
That's what all the old white ladies at my work talk about all the time. That and The Bachelor. Dude, when they had
I don't think we can get into The Bachelor. I don't think we get into The Bachelor. Kayla gets into Love is Blind every year, and I never watch like whenever they're like meeting each other because I don't give a shit. But whenever they're in the real world and shit starts happening,
not for me,
bro. I love
reality TV is just not my jam.
Yeah, I like
reality TV. Could not be further from reality. Has anyone ever made a joke about that? Like that's not even.
That's a terrible title. I might do it because I have a couple. There used to be this one that we watched called "Are You the One," and that show.
I don't even like the name of that.
Bro, no, that show was wild. So this show, it's 20 people, right? They're put on an island. And 10 guys, 10 girls, and they took.
Is this a storm episode?
There was a storm in one of the episodes.
Okay, that counts. Go ahead.
So they took like a personality test before going on the show.
Yeah.
And they have a perfect match, and the goal, and they're dating everyone. The goal is to find out who your perfect match is, and if all 10 couples are together, they all win $1 million. Okay. At the end of every episode, they put them into like the truth chamber or whatever, and it's like you are a perfect match.
Is that the name of it?
I don't know. It's
so
been a
lazy
while.
the writing on those shows. Fuckboy Island. Come on.
Fuckboy Island is pretty much what it is. Anyway, but that show, people would start dating, and then they would see if they were true matches, and they weren't, and they're like, "Fuck the game. I love this person," and everyone's like, "Shut the fuck up.
Shut up.
We're trying to win some money," and that got real dramatic. It was really good.
Have
Anyway.
you ever seen this? Is God, what is this? I think this is a real show. I've heard this talked about on maybe another pod or something. That I think this is either a real show or something they were pitching, and it's like you hide 20 or 19 straight dudes on an island and tell them that one of them's gay.
Yeah.
What is that? Is that like a meme
It's a joke.
Something?
It's a joke this guy made. It was like a TikTok, and he was like,
okay.
the reality show is like you put, I think it was 10, but like you put 10 dudes on an island, 10 gay dudes on an island, except one of them straight, and you tell them, I'm sorry.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought it was 10 straight dudes, one.
No, it's
you tell them there's one, but they're all straight.
10 gay dudes. You tell them one is straight.
Oh,
right, and they're all trying to prove that they're.
That I don't.
Wait,
think
no.
that's
What
right,
is it?
Because that would take no time at all.
10 straight guys.
There'd just be 9 guys fucking and one not.
Hold on.
That's literally, that would be so quick. It doesn't matter. It
doesn't matter. Anyway, but the twist was they were all straight.
Right. It's an old trick.
Yeah.
It's an old trick. Storms, dude. Let me think. Well, first of all, I don't know how I haven't said this already. Shout out to some very funny comic friends of mine that have a podcast literally called The Storm Boys, which is Lee Kimbrell, Kyler Finney, and Connor Larson, all from Nashville. They're hilarious, and they have shout out to them. Very funny. Storms are like, you have so many negative memories attached to them. It's kind of that's why on the drive here I was like, that'd be interesting to try to think of like funny.
I have wholesome ones too.
Storm ones.
When we got snowed in January, this was the first time we took our daughter out in the snow, and she like.
There's a snowstorm, yeah.
Loves it, dude.
Right. That's when the Wallace got canceled.
We watched Frozen every fucking day since then.
I love Frozen.
I've seen Frozen. What is today? Wednesday. I've seen Frozen at least 7 times this week.
Hell yeah, dude.
At least.
Well, then you would understand this. So I'll show you the video later. But there's like an opening scene. This is super. Nobody cares. But opening scene in Frozen. There's the credits start to come up, and there's like a tribal song that they're singing while they're right.
Yeah.
Not the ice cutting one that comes to the Frozen Heart. Not that comes right after. But this is like a tribal thing with the credits. As soon as that would come on, no matter where my niece was in our house when she was like maybe 3, she would just pause and just start dancing like this. She'd just start flowing like a hula girl on your dashboard.
Yeah.
Like she'd just sway in it. And I have a video of her doing it. But now every time that comes on. I think it makes me just stop and do it. She loved it, dude.
I took Olivia to the park the other day, and there's like a volleyball, like a sand volleyball thing, and it just rained, so it was like not cool to be on that sand. And Olivia sees it. She's like, Daddy, do you want to build a snowman?
Mess.
And I'm like, oh no, we can't. Like, you don't understand why that's
gross.
The worst idea that you've ever had.
It's actually, I don't like the feeling it's giving me. The thought of like doing
wet sand, dirty
imagine
sand.
doing a snow angel in wet sand. Doesn't that make you want to die? There's nothing I
might throw myself off the roof. I might go clean my skylights and actually fall off.
I hate sand, dude.
God, I do too.
I hate sand. It's sticky and it gets
Do you want to build a sandman?
No, that was a failed attempt at a Star Wars reference.
What'd you say?
Revenge of the Sith, I think. He says, I hate sand. It's sticky and it gets everywhere or something. It's like the worst line in movie history.
I've only seen the first 3 Star Wars, like the original 3. Anyway, that's our show.
Oh, hey, there it is, guys.
Yeah,
I gotta go try a new joke that's not gonna work. So
yeah, you going to tell jokes tonight?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice. Well, good luck.
I gotta talk to the man with the beard. They call him.
Santa.
Gotta ask him something. Pretty close.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that was our show. Michael Rose Comedy on Instagram and Threads, which I have not posted to either in a while.
But he's there.
I am there.
He's around.
I lurk. But yeah, so Michael Rose Comedy, Don't Tell Tri-Cities.
Yeah, Don't Tell Tri-Cities.
Nope. NL Booer.
Nope. In Booer Comedy on all platforms. Thanks for asking.
Yep.
Don't Tell Tri-Cities. Yeah, check us out there. By the time this comes out, we'll be 1 week away from our 1 year celebratory show. 1 whole year. So,
well, congratulations.
Thanks, buddy. I'll probably recap that some more on the next one and stuff when I have some stuff to share. And it's not a storm theme.
This was a fun episode. I enjoyed this a lot.
No, it was fun. But I'll have more stuff there. We got two probably our 2 most exciting shows in the history of us are this next one and the one right after. And then I've got something for April that I'm going to talk to Michael about in about 5 seconds. Just come. If you're listening to this, just come to Don't Tell April 19th. You should probably be there.
It's the day before Easter.
Yep, day before Easter.
Yep, the day after my daughter's birthday. Anyway.
Amen.
Yeah. Anyway, we love you all.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.